you talk about not attacking people. It seems like he's just doing this for the money, and because of that, I have no respect for Carl Lentz. Because how does this benefit the church?
Yeah,
you think it's for the money?
It's certainly for the money. You're doing a docu-series. You've done a book. But
he's saying he just wants his truth to get out there, though. Bill, I'm trying to speak my truth.
I mean, it may not be about the money.
Then why is he selling it?
But it may be primarily to try to, quote unquote, clear his name.
Look, but in the trailer, okay, I know it's a trailer. They're going to dramatize it and all that stuff.
In a couple weeks,
so,
right.
but I think he's trying to paint the church in a bad light, and that's what I don't like. And this could be even worse than the initial, right? Instead of trying to bring everybody together, you're tearing people apart.
When do we move on just to healing and restoration? Well, listen, I'm not going to argue. Listen, I can't say this about athletes and not say it about other people. You always get that athlete that come out there and be like, hey, it's not about the money. Anytime anybody says it's not about the money, what is it about?
Yeah, it's always about the money.
It's always about the money. And end of the day, we realize that, and he's over here. And we're gonna see in the docuseries, but he's over here going, "Hey, I just want to get my truth out there."
Yeah, but you're dragging the church through that process again, right? And so they've already gone through this process of healing, and now he's coming out with the docuseries, which is gonna drag the church back into the.
Well, they haven't gotten out of it because I mean, how can you move on in healing when there continues to be new things that come up?
That's what I'm saying. Not Offended Podcast. What's going on to my peeps out there from the East Coast to the West Coast and on? I mean, we meet so many people now. It's going everywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in. We talk about culture and its influence on the church. We got something for you today. Next to me, I got my boy Bill. The agent is so good. Got the token and the bishop. Don't get it twisted. Mike is the token and the bishop is the overseer of everything we do here. No. I just like saying that. Hey, man, this is so good. We're so happy you tuned in. If you can like, share, comment, subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. And you know why they need to like and share? Because one day, if Jake keeps doing what he's doing, he might get paid. Jake, where you at? Jake don't even show up no more.
How's he gonna get paid if he's not even here?
He ain't gonna get paid, bro. He ain't gonna get paid if he ain't here. So, yo, man, oh boy, we got some stuff to talk about. Yo, this is a hot one, guys. Y'all got to tune in and turn into this one. This is good. So, Andy Stanley.
Oh, no.
He back in it. He's back in the news. I found an article. Somebody sent it to me. I got people sending me stuff now.
Didn't his dad just die?
He did. Shout out.
Give him some time, man.
No. Shout out. Charles Stanley is the man. Do you know that dude preached without notes?
Okay, but didn't I hear that he was like a terrible dad and like a terrible husband?
Look, I'm not getting any of that. I'm trying.
Obviously, he wasn't a great father.
Okay. Oh.
Whoa. All right. Whoa.
All I was saying is I don't know about him
he's throwing speculation. He came out with a book. We just talked about Blake.
Sorry. I just saw the fruit that he got from his son, and it ain't too great.
So
Lord, help me with my kids. Lord, help me with my kids.
You just said 5 minutes ago, I need to pray more before I come up on this show.
I know.
Okay, we're going to hit rewind. So, Andy Stanley is back in the news, not for himself. Let me finish. His dad did pass. Shout out, blessed memory to Charles Stanley. I love that guy.
He was a great preacher.
That guy can preach. You know, no notes.
Here you go.
Mm-hmm. I think like 30, 35 years, no notes. Oh, you pour some out for the homie on the curb. There you go. Okay, so listen to this. Long-time North Point ministry leader receives a lap dance at a Heretic Atlantic bar from a drag queen. So apparently there's video, and it is her, of a staff member of the church at North Point Church, or former staff member. I don't know if they're still there, but she is pictured here with Andy Stanley at his church. She went to a bar and got a lap dance, and I saw the video. It was a lap dance. I don't know any other way to put that.
Don't recommend going and seeing the video though.
Everything was covered. Okay. It was covered. It was good. It was good. But there was full-on participation. Viewer discretion advice. Okay, so if y'all want to watch it. So I don't know where to go with that. Lap dances. Are we good with lap dances? Have we lowered the standard? Is that a set of questions?
What kind of question is that?
I feel bad. Is that a set
No, none of us are okay with lap dances.
You're like, my wife is tuning in. I am not okay with lap dances at all. Period. Point blank. I don't know where Anthony's going with that. No, what do you?
So is she? But we don't know if. So when you said she, you're talking about that's who was on staff. It was a female staffer, but we don't know if she is still there.
I'm reading right now. I read it. I can't remember. She was director of operations at the Buckhead campus, and at the time, they're stating at the time she was currently employed. I'm saying I don't know as of now. That was a few months ago. I don't want to say she is now and she's not, and I don't want to say that she was then and she's not. But as according to the article, she was operations director at one of their campuses.
I mean, it just makes you kind of go like, what else is going on? Because I mean, you have his comments in regards to LGBTQ and everything, and people who are attending his church, which cause all of us to go, wait, what is he talking about? And then now you have this, and it's just kind of like, what else is going on at Andy Stanley's church?
Yeah, it's saying that she was up until her last post, she was employed still there. And the drag queen gives her a shout out for her helping to live her best life and be her best person. And to command the audience.
I saw Andy Stanley on Fox recently. Like they love him. Like they're still using him as a correspondent or whatever. It's called.
They love them some Andy. You got any thoughts on that?
Okay. No, I don't have much thought. I was going to say, stay away from lap dances. That's it. You'll be safe. Either way, stay away.
They go across the board, okay? Whether it's
and Atlanta, apparently. A lot of stuff going on in Atlanta.
What's going on in Atlanta?
My goodness.
Debauchery. Atlanta's the San Francisco.
Is that the New Orleans, San Francisco? Atlanta's kind of everybody's.
Oh, Atlanta is the down south version of San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so it's going down. It's going down in Hot Atlanta.
All right.
Hot Atlanta needed a revival. What were we going to say? Hey, I thought his advice was great. I mean, I'm going to get the shirt from Bill, the agent, saying, just stay away from lap dances. That's a great shirt.
Yeah, that's good advice.
These things aren't that hard, man. This is very simple stuff.
Here's the question, and I don't mean to oversimplify this. Man, I know I did set you guys up. That was a total setup. I apologize, okay? I just like to see your reactions is all. Talking about culture and its influence of the church, right? So the whole reason we have the Not Offended podcast, real quickly, we talk about culture and the influence, but also we do this because we know we're going to offend people. And our whole point is we're living in a soft generation, and you got to get over being offended, and you got to learn how to have conversation. A conversation is not to win the person over. It's to clearly communicate how you feel and to hear how the other person feels, and then both walk away with mutual respect. That's the whole reason. Mm-hmm. But offense is so easy these days that we just call it the Not Offended podcast. So get over yourself. Okay. So somebody typed in the other day, you guys sound offended. Not really. Not at all. Like, we could care less, but we're just letting you know how we feel and if you want to have dialogue. But anyway, so I have a simple question. It was a setup. I just wanted to know, is there not a policy and procedure and handbook for employees of a church? Like, is there not an honor code?
Pretty sure that would have been under her thumb if she's the operational manager.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Oh, wow.
She's probably writing that book. No, let's take that part out.
Oh. How'd that go again? What do you? Is that too much? Am I being? I don't know. Self-righteous?
I mean, I wonder what he's going to do. I wonder if he's going to, remove her or.
What would you do? Would you give her a second chance, or is that just that went over?
Yeah, I mean, I asked her, what were you doing there? Where would you think you were going to? Maybe she was like, I was shocked. I didn't know I was going to this event. I know this was going on. I don't know.
It's called the Heretic Bar.
Oh, also it was okay.
Yeah,
I didn't read the full story, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess you got to fire her.
Yeah, you got when you're in leadership, you got to be real careful. Just the appearance of you, even entering like a liquor store or something like that, or walking to a casino. If somebody can just take a picture or something like that and spin it. Yeah. So you have to be real careful. When you're going to places like that. So.
I agree with you. I'm 100% on board. But it's called the Heretic Bar. My next shirt, stay away from all bars. If you're a pastor, if you work at a church, you might want to stay out the bar.
Well, some pastors go to bars.
Yeah.
We're going downhill quick now. We just went
or
off
they
the cliff.
or they go like smoke cigars and tower, We see him all the time.
Man, you get us in so much trouble. Like
What?
Like I think there's part of you
It's
just
true.
can't resist. You're just like, I'm just waiting. As soon as he opens the door, I'm coming in. Hey,
It just comes.
it just hits you. But I'm questioning. Do we not have a?
We're trying to reach the lost guys at the bars.
Do we have a? I guess what I'm saying is I'm a little shocked. Is there not an honor code? And by the way, can I just say this as a pastor? The honor code is not there to control people. The honor code is there so we can pastor people and just have conversation. Listen, I realize people are going to fall short. I say it all the time. We're not always going to get it right, but we can make it right. The honor code is just a way that we can pastor people, pastor hookups and hangups and hiccups. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's there for. And we have an honor code that we try to follow here. And if we make a mistake, we own it. But this was kind of blatant. You're going to the heretic bar. You know your girl, guy, I don't know what this is going to go do something because they told you. And then you're celebrating the revelry of debauchery. Where's the honor? That's all I'm simply asking.
Yeah, but we're talking about
honor codes.
Well, no, we're talking about Andy Stanley's church.
You're right. I have way too much hope in people. I don't know. Am I hopeless? Should I have too much hope in people?
I don't know. I mean, people are just pursuing freedom too much. Just like, how can I be free? How can I do as much as I can do?
Like, where's the line and how close can I get to it?
How to get
Okay. Let me ask Bill. Okay. I try not to have that mentality because I know me. I know me and I know the sinful lifestyle that I came out of. And anytime I go, where's the line? How close can I get to the line? You know what I do? I go over the line. Because I like sin. If sin wasn't fun, I don't think anybody would do it. Sin is fun. And I like sin. Am I?
Yeah.
Is that a true assessment?
No, you ought to be living life just going as far away from that as possible. Not try to reach culture by getting closer to it.
You should just pursue how can I look like Jesus?
Yeah.
Instead of how free can I be?
Holiness has got to come back and stop.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're on this topic, I still look at you. You got the most innocent face too, and then you just slip a little comment out there. So Hillsong is back in the news again because our boy Carl Lentz, shout out Carl Lentz.
I feel like every time you say something, I just go, oh no.
You do. You've done that now twice. But Carl Lentz looking like Jesus these days, or a picture of how people have painted Jesus with his long hair.
He's a Jew?
Wait, he's black?
We all know Jesus is Asian, okay, guys?
Okay, but real talk, since you said that.
Hey, is there a picture of an Asian Jesus? I haven't seen one. I'm going to make one. Come on. We
Bill,
take it up.
Bill.
The underground churches
Hey,
in
you know
China,
what?
Bill, have
You
Asian
go
Jesus.
for it, Bill. I got your back on that one.
I'm a Google.
We all know
it.
Jesus was Mexican anyway. He's Jesus. Come on. He named him Jesus. We know he's Mexican. Come on. So, just so you know, one of my favorite pictures of Jesus is Black Jesus. It's the one where he's got his head, he's got some dreads, and he's like, I love that picture. I don't know why, but it's
not the one where he's just totally yoked, like
the Jim Jesus. I love, Sins of the World, and he's all yoked. That's got to be like second. The one I don't really care for is like the fifth member of the BG Jesus, where he's got his hair all blonde and flowing, and he's got that stoic look off to the right. That I don't know. I just can't get down with that one. I don't know. Am I wrong? You're looking at me like I just said some heretic or something.
Jesus was a Jew.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
Okay, he was. We're just having fun. Okay. So Carl Lentz wrote a book, and he's got a documentary. Matter of fact, for the audience, let's just show them the clip here. Here it goes.
The truth doesn't go anywhere just because you cover it up.
I don't like you, but I love you.
Hillsong is a megachurch, and Carl Lentz is the celebrity pastor.
Carl is so charming.
People idolized him.
There is a sense that pastors can be hot.
He was so special.
It was cool. Carl was this mega superstar, and then he just disappeared.
You do not want to be in this chair. I cannot stress it enough.
You really got a hold on me.
I had some major lies.
He said, I have been unfaithful.
You really got a hold on me.
Carl
Carl was fired by Hillsong leader Brian Houston, but there was something larger happening at this church.
People were putting things together. Brian's unraveling was bound to happen.
They were protecting something. What are they protecting? Brian's pushing people to the limit.
Hillsong culture is loyalty to Hillsong.
There was a series of violent criminal acts against children.
Did you cover up your father's sex abuse?
They had meetings about not telling anyone.
It's child abuse, labor abuse, sexual assault.
We are fearful of what is ahead.
I've never seen anything like this.
This is a church we're talking about.
Man, you guys watched that video. Let's get some first thoughts on that. I'm just going to give you my first thoughts. You guys give me yours. But I really feel like Carl has, by the way, looking like Jesus in that video. I got to say it for the audience. Was I the only one who saw that? He got his long flowing hair. He's got his little half, beard going there. I felt like he's just like a little picture of Jesus right there, but no thoughts. You didn't know Jesus looked like, did we not know he looked like that or what?
Deshaun's words.
I'm going to say something racially insensitive.
What?
So I'm just not going to say anything at all.
What were you going to say? He's not looking like Jesus? What were you going to, no?
No.
No, he's not. And Bill,
he's going for a different style. I saw the hair, long flowing hair. And
Jake said he looked like him. Jake was taking full credit where he looked like Jake.
Is Jake trying to look like Jesus? He's going
or Carl Lentz.
Oh man,
Carl Lentz. Jesus, yeah.
So I'm watching this, and I literally feel like Carl Lentz is trying to portray himself as the victim. Now, this is just the trailer, guys. It's just what you saw. That's come out for a couple weeks. But I feel
he produced it, right? It's coming from his camp.
I don't know. I just know he wrote the book. I don't know if they picked it up and they're like, hey, this will sell. Anytime you can just start throwing a church under the bus, especially that large of a church, Hillsong, it's going to sell. But I feel like they're making Brian Houston to be the fall guy, the patsy, right? Like he's the big bad. Like he molded Carl Lentz to be this front man, to be the poster child of Hillsong. And then right when Carl gets exposed, he pulls the rug out and tries to get rid of him. I don't know what you're...
It just we talk about not attacking people. It seems like he's just doing this for the money, and because of that, I have no respect for Carl Lentz. Because how does this benefit the church?
Yeah,
you think it's for the money?
It's certainly for the money. You're doing a docu-series. You've done a book, but
he's saying he just wants his truth to get out there, though. Bill, I'm trying to speak my truth.
It may not be about the money.
Then why is he selling it?
But it may be primarily to try to, quote unquote, clear his name.
Look, but in the trailer. Okay, I know it's a trailer. They're going to dramatize it, and all that stuff.
In a couple weeks,
so,
right.
but I think he's trying to paint the church in a bad light, and that's what I don't like. And this could be even worse than the initial, right? Instead of trying to bring everybody together, you're tearing people apart.
When do we move on just to healing and restoration? Listen, I'm not going to argue. Listen, I can't say this about athletes and not say it about other people. You always get that athlete that come out there and be like, hey, it's not about the money. Anytime anybody says it's not about the money, what is it about?
Yeah, it's always about the money.
It's always about the money. And end of the day, we realize that, and he's over here, and we're gonna see in the docuseries, but he's over here going, hey, I just want to get my truth out there.
Yeah, but you're dragging the church through that process again, right? And so they've already gone through this process of healing. And now he's coming out with the docu-series, which is going to drag the church back into the...
Well, they haven't gotten out of it because, how can you move on in healing when there continues to be new things that come up?
That's what I'm saying. Anytime somebody says they get this book deal, now they get bro, this is FX. This is a big deal. It's a big deal. It's going to be highly watched. He's going to get a lot of money. There's going to be a lot of cheddar off this, right? There's going to be secure to bag alert. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be some paper. My point is, anytime somebody comes out, I just want my truth to get out there, but you're getting paid. I feel like there's some.
How much of that is true?
Come on, because scandals sell, and you're being a little disingenuous. If you really say it's not about the money, give all the money away. He got a fat settlement. He signs an NDA. He gets a fat settlement. Listen,
Wait, why does he get a settlement from Hillsong?
Oh yeah.
Is he one of the originators? Is that why? Like you had to pay him
there
out?
wasn't a bigger person for Hillsong than Carl Lentz, and he didn't write no music. He didn't do any of that. Bro. Listen, one of the clips, the young girl says it. She goes, you could be a celebrity pastor and be hot. I mean, he's a good-looking dude. He's walking with Justin Bieber with his shirt off. And ladies, don't be rewinding that and watching that, rewinding that and watching that. We you know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know why they put that in there because Joe Rogan. That's the clip Joe Rogan. That's the clip Joe Rogan put on his podcast. Like, what was that look for? You're only soliciting one type of look right there, right? So I don't know. I think there's ulterior motives.
He's putting fuel back in the fire to allow people to talk smack on a church again, to bring this back up. And so I'm not a fan of that at all. So
yeah, then he got hired on a church again. It's like someone should talk to this dude. Like, how is he still working at a church if he's still doing this? Like, they're supposed to be representing Christ. This church supposed to be representing Christ. He's supposed to be, and they're not doing it.
Well, I think something Mike said is very important. We don't even know to the extent yet. How do you move on in healing when nobody been honest? See, that's the part that I'm just frustrated. I'm flustered, to be honest with you. I realize people aren't perfect. Can you just own it? Mm-hmm. Can you just own it and be like, yo, man, I screwed up. I dropped the ball. I was going through a lot. I'm not going to make an excuse, but I'm just giving you the full scope and spectrum here of what happened. Blah, blah, blah. Why doesn't he come out and say, I got caught up in the lifestyle? I'm hanging out with Bieber. I'm hanging out with, who's the basketball, Chandler, center for the Knicks?
Amari Stoudemire?
No. Tyson Chandler?
Yeah.
He was hanging out. I think he baptized him in the pool. He was hanging out with Drake, Steph. He was hanging out with everybody. Durant, who was coming through, the Brooklyn Nets at that time. Z. He would constantly shout out on Instagram at Hova. You know what I mean? Why not just admit? It's like if Joe Rogan picks you up and specifically points out that picture and picks on you for 10 minutes and talks about all that picture is doing is enticing women to come sleep with you. What does that tell you? And he's walking with Justin Bieber. Like, you didn't know there was going to be 1,000 paparazzi around you when he was in Amsterdam taking shots with Bieber at a bar. You didn't think there was going to be am I making sense? Like, you can't put that on nobody but you. So why not just own it? I mean, I would have mad respect if you say, hey, yo, check it out. Yeah. I got big, my head, my ego. I got caught up in the lifestyle. I got caught up with hanging out with all these superstars, mega stars. And I'm wearing $10,000 jeans, $20,000 shirts, blah, blah, blah. I'm flying first class, and I just got caught slipping. Mm-hmm. And I own everything. Yep, I cheated on my wife. I had, several incidences of infidelity that no one pushed me towards. I take full accountability. Would we not respect that? Instead, we get, I was made to be the poster child, and there was this pressure, and I couldn't handle it. It was stardom.
But it was really the organization's fault.
That's my point. When is the first person who's going to get up? Can I ask an honest question? And you guys, please, if I'm full of crap, just tell me. Was he not enjoying that lifestyle?
Oh, I'm sure he was, yeah. Hanging out with celebrities, doing all that.
We're all men. Are you not enjoying that lifestyle? I'm going to get you all in trouble. That was a setup question again.
This is lap dance question 2.0 right here.
But would you not be indulging and enjoying that lifestyle?
I mean, what you always taught us, the higher influence you have, the greater the standard should be for you. And it's like Hillsong is missing that. They're selling people get away with stuff. Their standards should be even higher because you have a bigger influence. If I mess up, ain't no one getting hurt by that. Not a lot of people are getting hurt like that. My influence is way smaller than his. And so his standard should have been higher than what it is.
I'm glad you're quoting me, but I hope to Jesus I have the fortitude and I have the ability to go low when people are trying to lift me up high. I hope to Jesus I have the capacity to handle that type of fame and recognition. I hope to Jesus that I have discernment and a wife who will stab me if I ever pull crap like that.
Well, I can tell you that's true.
Which part? Which part?
Yeah, you getting shanked.
Yeah, I'm getting shanked or shot, one or the other, huh? But does that make sense? I hope I got my crew around me going, yo, dog, like this platform getting a little too big for you. Like it ain't about you. You need to go scrub toilets again. I hope so, man. But we talk about it all the time. Your wingman lets you down.
Sure. Or they were with them.
Ooh, good point. All right, well, somebody in this crew better have some holiness in them to say, hey, we used to be, but I'm just telling you, I know me, and I can't say unequivocally I wouldn't get caught up because it didn't happen overnight. It started with, yo, man, hey, you're never going to believe who's in the audience. Bieber showed up. Mm-hmm. What? He wants to meet with you. Okay, I hope I don't get moved by money. I hope I don't get moved by other people with means. I hope I don't get moved by people who are influenced. I hope not, D. I hope not. May God find me faithful. May God find me in my closet praying. But I'm not mad at the dude. I'm not even, casting dispersions. I'm just saying, like, dude, own it. That's all I'm saying. But over here on writing a book and getting a movie series?
Yeah, the thing that bothers me is that this story so big, it'll be big across America. This is how Christ is being represented. Yeah. That's the part that bothers me. It was like, if you feel like you're in that position, you can't handle it, step down from position.
Yes.
Give up the power. Like, humble yourself like, hey, I can't take this. Don't misrepresent Christ. That's why I don't like the whole thing with Hillsong. Like, you guys are supposed to be a church, and we look just like a regular business. You don't look any different from the world. And that's how we're representing Christ. I'm not mad at him. We all make mistakes. Again, I hope I don't find myself in the same situation too. But I think we should have more weight of you're representing Christ.
You're right.
And this is how it's looking to the rest of the world.
You're right.
What different are we? How much different are we? And that's why I get frustrated even with Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses. Stop calling yourself Christians. You're not Christians. You don't believe in the true faith of who Jesus is. Stop misrepresenting who Christ is. And I just want that for everyone. Like, own up to it and realize, I made a mistake. As a church, we made the mistake. These are adjustments that we're making. This is not who God is. This isn't who Christ is. If you make the mistake, go do that, like you're saying. But don't keep carrying that banner or keep making the same mistakes over and over again.
Yeah, I you said that perfectly. So one of you did mention, how is this going to help the church? I've been blessed by not all the music, but by some of the music of Hillsong, especially early in my ministry. It set a lot of a foundation to do a lot of the things that I do, to pray, to fast, to seek God's justice in the world. It really has. And my heart breaks because there's a lot of people who've done a lot of good work. And I don't think this is going to cast anything but shade. Bill, do you think I'm off on that, or do you think that's exactly what's going to happen?
No, that's it. The church is going to have to answer once again. If they're trying to probably move on and get healing, and this is bringing it back up, and so. And
one other thing, just on a personal note. Okay, it's an Anthony thing. Personal note. What happened to being loyal to the soil? Like, all right, so there's some disagreements with you and Hillsong. Yo, man, keep it to yourself. Like, move on. Keep it to yourself. Don't rehash it and redo it. I mean, is that just an Anthony thing, or I wouldn't say anything. I just move on.
Well, he's probably in survivor mode for his own life.
He just got picked up at Mike Todd's church.
Yeah, but if you were to go backwards, they probably started talking about this book a lot.
Would you? Okay, book is one thing. TV series is another.
Right. So this TV series, if it's getting ready to come out, has been shot a long time ago.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, good point. Okay, I see what you're saying. Still, what happened to loyal to the soul?
No, I don't. I'm not making an excuse for him. I mean,
okay, you're just giving context,
right? So I think he's in a position where he's like, man, how do I clear my name? How do I get out of where I'm at? How do I get back to being able to have this status that I had before? Because you're right. He probably loved it. He probably loved the private jet. He probably loved the first class. He probably loved the concierge service and all these different things. How do I get back to that? Throw everybody else under the bus.
And we talked last week about Chris Hodges and Church of the Highlands, how he fights for the culture. And I think you see why. Like, he fights for that culture, like people being on stage, how he holds those things sacred of like what they do at their church is to protect them misrepresenting Christ.
Yeah. No, thanks. It's good. Hey, this is the Not Offended Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We talk about influence, culture, and its influence on the church. Please hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. We try to answer all those comments to the best of our abilities. But go ahead and share this with a friend. Man, I told you this was going to be a hot one. So I want to switch gears a little bit. And there's a reason why I'm bringing it up, because I've heard some rumors. I don't have any site sources. I don't know if any of it's true, but somebody could try this. So the godfather of AI, So we all know about the chat bots. We all know about the Chat 4GT or GBT that's out there, and it's all this AI stuff that you can ask questions. I've played around. This is interesting. So like you got all this information at your disposal, spitting out facts, writing essay papers, all this stuff. Well, the Godfather Jeffrey Hinton, who helped create this literally about 20 years ago, or pardon me, technically to be about 15 years ago, he quits. He walks away and he goes, we just opened up Pandora's box. Like, you have no idea what you just did, because this thing learns like on the go. Like, it is learning, it is processing information, it is answering questions, and apparently it is mimicking people. Like, it learns your movements, it learns your thought patterns, it learns the way you speak, and it is literally being able to have a dialogue for you in your stead. Is that just not freaky?
Yeah, there's a lot of power.
Am I the only one getting a little scared right there on that?
It's like a robot.
Like, I said that and my phone just rang. Like that's how freaky this is. But like what they're saying is like these things can now answer the phone for you. Hold that conversation for you. Am I the only one getting a little nervous?
I don't know. I was trying to get a hold of somebody for like a week. So
might not be so bad.
I wish they had that AI, GBT, whatever it is, answer my phone call.
What do you think about that? So the reason I bring this up is they're saying like you can ask it to write a worship song for you.
Well,
or write a sermon.
When I was in college.
Go ahead. Speak on it.
GBT would have been doing a lot of essays for me.
What is it called?
Chat. What was it? Chat what? Chat
it is
GBT.
GBT. Oh, okay.
My gosh.
That is before I found the Lord.
Okay. So what do you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know they're talking to one lady, and she like maybe writes for New York Post about this media and technology. And they asked her, what's the most scariest thing that you see coming up? She was like, well, there's one program that will mimic a person.
Yep.
So like a family, this happened, they mimic a family member, and they will say like, you know, I've been kidnapped, send money, or they're going to kill me. And they tricked some people doing that. It had to send them a ton of money, and it was all just a farce. Like,
so it was like it was like a phone call.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a phone call or actual video.
Oh, dang.
Bro, where's this in?
Yeah, it's the power that it holds. I think it's just the tip of the iceberg here of what this can do. And if you have founders and everybody who's created this thing, probably for good, you know, and they go, it's got too much power. Like, ugh, we'll see where we are in a couple of years, man.
I think I'm the only one who's really kind of scared. Okay,
Yeah.
anytime you can find this. This is, I mean, you could just literally you could Google it. 100 articles come up. Everybody ran with the story. But I'm just saying, yo, this is the guy who built it. And you know what he's saying? We did way too much.
Sounds like a movie.
It's
Sounds
exactly
like Terminator. Does anybody not remember? Any old school people out there remember them from Terminator? Come on, man. I remember the first one, second one, third one. I was all in. Shoot, okay?
Matrix, Terminator, all of it.
But remember
right?
what they said? It was a scene out of a movie. We did too much. We didn't know it was going to go this far. We didn't know it was going to learn this quickly. We didn't know. It's always that same. And this guy is saying it. He goes, yo, I created it. It's all bad now. Like, y'all need to be warned. This is scary stuff. We done built a monster.
Well, I saw something there too. It's programmed. I guess the computer now, or AI, is actually, and they don't know how to fix this or what's happening. It's programming to lie now. And so imagine the power in that. I mean, you could literally probably erase history on certain things and rewrite history again the way it wants it to be written. So
we went apocalyptic right now. This is all bad. But
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Buy more guns and go get a farm.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
Live off the grid.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Get you that solar
all
power
the
and those
people
batteries
we
off
talk
the grid.
about, we're becoming those people.
If I gotta be a farmer, man, we in trouble.
Oh, you can't grow that. You're in trouble.
Man.
You gonna be good if you have to farm?
I'll bring some people with me.
Okay, so going back to this, so there is, I've heard different people have told me, yeah, this thing wrote a sermon. This thing wrote a worship song. Like, They built a God.
I think they
This
talk
is my
about
point.
that,
They
yeah.
built a God. Knows all, sees all, learns on the go, gives itself glory. I don't know. I just think, can I just throw it out there? Can I just throw it out there? I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm not a doomsdayer. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not anything like that. Okay, just feel me. This is what I'm saying. This is the 21st century Tower of Babel. There you go. That's all I'm saying. There's your Tower of Babel. Pretty soon, you don't need to learn a language. Put the earpiece in. It'll tell you what to say. As long as you get some of the phonetics right, as long as you can say some of the words, it's going to tell you what to say, and as they talk, it'll translate for you.
Oh yeah, I saw the video. It's a guy had like a little lapel thing here.
I'm telling you
and
right
he
now.
started speaking French.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, they built the Tower of Babel. And what do we learn from the story of the Tower of Babel? Once everybody communicates the same way, nothing is impossible to build. There you go. It just got built. I'm telling you, we need to wake up. You're going to have people cheating the process now, writing sermons, writing worship songs, trying to get those number one hits, all this stuff. And it's not God glorifying. I'm not a doomsdayer. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But that's 21st century Tower of Babel. Prove me wrong.
And here's the thing is who's not going to participate, right? And so if everybody else is much smarter than you because they're using this, you're going to, and we're already doing it right now. We're all participating in something similar right now. You know, how do you live without your phone in nowadays? Can't.
It can't beat me in a scripture debate, New Testament. Get ChatGPT. I'll whip his butt.
Your person.
Get your little chat bot.
I like a young lady that says, bring that fool on right now. Shoot.
Where Chad at?
Yeah.
Shoot, Chad. Give him a new name.
It don't know the Bible
Chad.
like I know it.
Come on. Yeah,
I got the Holy Spirit. I didn't got no.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, he got a different spirit, all right. Yeah, you got that right. You're going to be the battle of spirits. Tower of Babel spirits. Okay, so I want to end off this segment. Something broke my heart. Literally broke my heart. It's not a Offended podcast talking about culture and its influence of the church. Man, we talked about last week failing the kids. And so I wake up to an article, I want to say it was on Thursday, okay, maybe Friday. Wake up to an article, parents protest school after first graders allegedly force a girl to perform an act, actual act, and they record it on an iPad. This happened in Texas. And the mom the mom or the sister was being interviewed, and they said two boys literally grabbed a hold of a girl, stuck her under a desk, and made her do some things as they recorded it. She comes home, she's completely distraught. They go to the teacher, and I think it was for either 2 or 3 days, they made her continue to sit next to the perpetrators.
School did nothing, huh?
And all they kept saying was, of course, what the school has said, we can't talk about it. We can't talk about it. You can't talk about it, but you don't make the girl, she's in first grade. You don't make her sit next to them boys anymore. What's happening? Recording it on an iPad? Handing it out to friends? Or what is going on? Do you blame the kids or do you blame the parents?
I mean, that's a heavy story. I have to.
You need to chew on that, huh?
Read that. Yeah, I don't.
No, you don't want to read it. It gets worse.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't want to read it. It gets worse. There's video. I didn't see no video. I'm just saying they did record it. That's verified. There's no video out there. Not like, but they say it's recorded. Like they were passing it around. I'm just saying.
They're all first graders?
Yes. It was in the class.
First graders. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro. Parents or the kids or both? Where are we at? Come on. This is not a Offended podcast. Can't be quiet now.
Yeah, I think it's all right. We're failing the kids. We as the adult, we're supposed to be the protector of the kids, right? We're supposed to be the ones that are protecting them, and they're just not getting that. But yeah, my heart goes out to anybody who's been through something like that. So.
Are we failing the kids?
Yeah, I mean, if that's your child that was one of those that assaulted that girl, like you failed as a parent, 100%. That's 100% your fault. Where does a 6-year-old learn that? You know what I mean? What are they watching? What games are they playing? What would and then watch this. Unfortunately for that 6-year-old, what happened to them? You know, they've obviously been exposed to things. There's a good chance that they've been abused, right? Abusers have been abused. And so it just is sickening. And yes, the parents failed.
D. You still chewing on it, huh? You still like, how'd they learn how to record it?
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Is that next level?
It's a whole, it's a lot of issues with it. It's just.
That's next level, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Because my son's, he's in what? He's in first grade.
He's in first grade.
Like I don't know how, he doesn't even understand that. That's crazy. I don't know.
He's still trying to figure out how to jump out of the tree and not hurt himself or get yelled at.
I don't.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, the exposure to get you to this point.
I don't mean to make light of this, but just all seriousness, can I just be candid? You know, for the most part, as 6 boys, you're still trying to really work on how to wipe themselves correctly. I mean, I'm not trying to make light of it, but like to compare and contrast, like they're still figuring out how to potty. You know what I mean? Like hey, you know, maybe an accident here or there, something. You know.
Yeah.
They recorded it. They grabbed her, forced her. Read the article. This is nuts. And then you got homie record. How do you even know something went wrong?
Dennis Prager has said the best argument that God exists is what happens when you remove God from a situation. When you remove God from a nation, what happens? This is a situation you see that in whatever those kids' families, their lives, God is not involved in it. This is what you see when you see God removed from something. You see this crazy decay. Like, I can't even understand how this occurs. Like Mike was saying, something else in their life is going on where God's not a part of their family's life. You know, the people that they're surrounded with, like those kids who committed the crime weren't protected. And therefore, this girl's being hurt too.
Then you make her sit with those boys for the next few days. Dear Lord Jesus, help me. Okay, as a parent, how do you not go off?
Well, it's not asked Deshaun.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm not asking Deshaun. Yeah,
those administrators be wheeling themselves into school the next day.
How do you not go crazy?
Yeah, that's
your daughter. It's your daughter. They're laughing, sharing videos, and it's your daughter who has to sit there and stare at them. You beating somebody. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'd be in jail. I think I'd be in jail.
I will be in jail or dead.
I try not to die because someone still got to be. Well, we're there for you. Okay. You guys have my back. All right. I get. Yeah, jail or death.
Go ahead, D. We're there for you.
I don't know what to say. Okay. Talking about. So I wake up. So I'm reading the news as I do. I come across another article.
Oh no, man.
Mass teen, 14 years old, goes after another student on the school bus, shooting at his head.
Wait, what? Somebody's on
14-year-old boy gets on a school bus with his gun and starts shooting at another teen and literally going to execute him gangster style, just shooting at his head.
Did he hit him?
No, he missed. But now they're saying don't try him as an adult. Don't. You know, he's just misunderstood. Try him as an adult. Period. We failed our kids. 14 years old, and you're going up there like you're a mob boss, a gangster, on a school bus. What's going on? Nobody spends more money on education than America. What's going on? We're failing. We're failing. Mm-hmm. And people want to say we need more money. It's not a money issue. It's a morality issue.
Sure, I bet in those stories there's a lot of links. We could probably run the stats. You know, maybe broken homes, no fathers there. Like you said, God's not present in the home, and so all those things we talk about here, you know, it kind of leads down to this path, I guess.
Any thoughts? I mean,
well, the more that you desensitize people to things, the crazier people are going to get. So the more that we desensitize them to sexual stuff, the crazier kids are going to get at a crazier age. The more that you desensitize them to violence with these crazy video games, they walk up on a school bus with a gun and they don't understand the ramifications of what they're about to do.
Where did he get the gun?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, when I was 14, I could have got a gun.
But who signs off on this? You know what I think at 14? I'm not doing that. I got my whole life ahead of me. My dad would beat the. I better wish I was dead.
I mean, but there's kids. I mean, we're talking to them. They don't think they're going to live very long, or they think they're going to prison. I mean, we're talking to a kid. He's like, "Yeah, well, all my family's in jail." That's on B2. That's where they're all at.
I had a conversation with a man. He was at one point he was the youngest person in the state of California ever to be incarcerated. Both of his parents were in prison, and he did some stuff in order to get arrested because he wanted to go be with his parents.
So I feel like I'm just going down and down and down. But I wanted to end off on this article particularly because I think it encapsulates what's been going on now for a while, okay? So I came across another article that evening. It just pops up. And there was this young girl. She's 24 years old. And in April of 2022, she goes out drinking with her friends for, I think she said it was her birthday or whatever. You can see this story. She just got sentenced this last week. And they released the body cam. She leaves the bar after she says she had a few drinks. She's drunk. I watched the whole body cam video. I can't make this up. He goes through the whole test. She blows like 10 times the legal limit. She's sitting in the car. The officer just gets radio back that the people she hit, she killed them. There's no more. It's done. They're dead. So he tells the young lady, hey, do you realize the severity of what you've done? At that time, I believe she was 22, right? She was 22, something like that. And she goes, no. He goes, you just hit two people. She goes, I didn't hit anybody. Now, for all intent and purposes, I got to give a little bit of information. It's going to be graphic. And I apologize. He goes, ma'am, you don't understand. You just hit and killed two people. And she laughed. She goes, oh, no, I didn't. I didn't kill nobody. Her very next statement is, I need to get to class. Am I going to be able to go to class? And he says, ma'am, there's an arm and a leg stuck inside your grill because she ran them over. And she literally says, so does that mean I'm not going to class tomorrow? I need to call my teachers. I have finals coming up. They go to the hospital, and the officer has to stay with her as they're trying to check her out to see if she got any injuries and sober up a little bit. And there's a 10-minute conversation. And finally, the officer had enough. He goes, you're pathetic. You don't seem to understand. There's no finals. There's no graduation. She goes, you don't understand. We're going out partying. We're going out partying on summer, and I need to be there. And he goes, you're thinking about drinking after you just killed two people? What part of this do you not understand? You're going to prison for a very long time, and rightfully so. She's laughing the entire time. This is where we're at. We're watching a generation that has no concept of consequences and what's really, really going on. You said it a minute ago. When you remove God, you start to see the consequences of your decisions. Is this what we're seeing? Can you believe this story? I mean, I know you can believe the story. I just read other stories that are heinous. But is this crazy? People are dead.
Yeah, I wonder how drunk she still was. I mean, probably tell a lot. Hopefully she wasn't thinking that when she was sober. Oh.
Okay, just for all intent purposes, okay, I've been plastered before. I've been very drunk on numerous occasions. There's still, at least for me, there was still a level of cohesion. Like I was aware. Mm-hmm. I mean, coherency. Not cohesion, coherency.
Not Sean.
Coherency. Apparently not Sean. But am I wrong in that? Like we've been in some bad. You sober up a little quicker.
22.
Yeah.
And so just a lesson to anybody going out. You know what I mean? Like this something could happen to a lot of people that are out on Friday, Saturday nights, right? I've heard many people's stories where they've gotten in an accident, they ruined their lives, you know, from coming out from just a house party, going out to the bar, and then you get in the car and some tragic things happen, man. And so nobody thinks it'll ever happen to them, and these things are happening.
She's smiling as he's telling her what she did. She's smirking and
yeah,
smiling.
she's not out there. I mean, like if she's still at this point afterwards when she sobered up. But still, that's pretty. That's pretty bad. So.
I'm just throwing out there, Mike. We're failing.
Yeah, like I said, when we're talking about that other segment, we continue to desensitize people to stuff. You introduce drugs and alcohol at a younger age, and this is what we get. You introduce sexual stuff at a younger age, and this is what we get. You introduce violence at a younger age, and this is what we're getting. Like, this is the road. This is the road that our culture has paved, and unfortunately, this is where our kids are, we get to see it. We are directly across the street from elementary school. The stuff that I see over here is crazy, just from elementary kids.
Okay, so here, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we just got to make sure, I've been thinking about a lot, that people who commit these crimes are actually being convicted. Like, they're paying the punishment for it. Like, I get sick and tired of people always not caring for the victim, but the victimizer. It was like, oh man, they wouldn't have robbed the store because they needed they needed bread, or they shouldn't have shot him. Well, let's first start with they committed a crime.
Okay.
Like, people need to stop doing illegal stuff and stop hurting other people. We need to stop always defending the person who's committed the crime and, oh man, they shouldn't get that big of a punishment. No, people need to get more punishment. People will stop doing it. Where you can continue to get away with stuff.
Yeah.
The crime is so small. I mean, if you steal something under $1,000, you're not going to jail. So who cares?
Oh, they're not even coming out.
Yeah, so why not steal?
Yeah, I mean, California is supposed to be such a liberal state that's all about, helping those who are less fortunate and helping people. But at the same time, like, the victims stay victims in California.
So let's end up with some hope. In your conclusion, what's one thing we can do to not fail our kids? What can we do? I mean, we've seen all these stories, the attack against the church. We talked about it with Hillsong. We talked about all this stuff. What can, obviously our AI is not the way, because they don't have a heart. It doesn't have a heart. It doesn't know. What can we do? Give me one thing we can do. Let's close with that. Give it to me.
I think one thing that we can do is strive to be the best version of ourselves.
Okay.
So mom out there, go to church, love Jesus, pursue holiness. The more that dad out there, do the same thing. Dads, lead your home. The more that we can do that, the byproduct is going to be a healthier generation of kids.
Okay.
They're gonna see you doing that and want to do that because they see you doing what you're doing now and wanting to do that.
Okay, D, what you got for us?
Yeah, man. If we feel like society and things are getting worse, I mean, Hebrews tells us you need to get to church. You need to keep meeting with other believers.
Yep.
And so, preaching a couple of weeks at another church, that's all I want to let them know. Like, if you think things are continue to get bad, church needs to be a priority. And you need to be led by your pastor. Go find a pastor that you trust, that you know will teach you the word, and listen to him. And let him guide and let him lead you in the advice for your family, how to raise your kids. That's how God structured it. If you feel like things are getting worse, that's what you need to do. That is what the Bible tells us we need to do. Get in a relationship with other believers. Get rid of all the other friends. Invite them to church. You want to still be friends? Come to church with me. But surround yourself with other believers. I mean, that's the only way you're going to survive it. And then we do that, the world's going to change.
Love it. Love it. What you got, Bill?
Yeah, I think it's to encourage people to serve God and to love their family. I was telling somebody this morning that I think one of the best things I can do for my boys, my kids, is to love their mom.
That's good.
Right? That's good. To show my love towards their mom, because we were talking about a family member who had been through a divorce. I mean, divorce doesn't split a husband and wife. It tears apart the family.
Yeah.
And these kids grow up, torn apart, right. At a young age. And so I encourage people to stay together, work it out, and to serve God.
I think all that's good advice. I just want to talk to the parents out there real quick. Hey, listen, coming from parent to parent, I haven't always done everything right. I didn't do probably as good a job as I could have, or even as I should have. But it's never too late to start parenting and make course corrections. I've said it once. I've said it 100 times. We don't always get it right, but we can make it right. And so, mom, dad out there, I just want to encourage you, all the advice that was given here, to get involved in a local church. And be okay to apologize to your kids. Hey, I didn't always get it right, but I want to make it right now. And by honoring God, God will always honor the person who honors them. There is such a blessing in living right. And I know that we get tempted and we fall short sometimes, but it's never too late to get back up and try again. Time and time again, we see that in the Word of God, that these people have failed, but they get up and they try again. So I want to encourage you out there right now to try again. Wherever you're watching this from, find a local church, a Bible-believing local church that seeks to honor God and preaches the Word of God. Then go and get involved, and you'll see that your life begins to make a change for the better. Hey, this has been the Not Offended Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. Peace. We're out.